Okay, time for game number 3 of our grand final here at ESL One Frankfurt 2016. Serious business end of the tournament. OG one away from claiming yet another championship, or can NaVi finally break them down? Ben, the ultimate question. Can NaVi make a comeback?
I just want NaVi to put up at least one good fight in one game.
Okay.
Or one good fight in a game, yeah.
Yeah. Would that be like a victory right now with what we've seen so far? Because OG's been so dominant.
No, the victory is when they close it out 3-2.
Okay. You're still a believer.
Sure.
I still think it was deluded, but I like it. I like it a lot.
I prefer being deluded than being Ben.
Boring Ben. Okay. Pycat, where do you sit? Somewhere in the middle, I would guess.
No, I'm pretty much on the boring side of things right now. I think if NaVi can put up, I mean, if they can take a game, then hats off.
Okay. You think that's a real achievement right now?
I think so right now. I mean, judging from how OG are playing right now, then yeah, I think so. Just seems like just feels like they're on a different level right now.
Yeah. Swindle said in the audience, it's scary.
They definitely look scary right now. Yeah. They look. I don't even know if they're maybe even looking better than what they did at the major. I mean, I feel like Liquid was a tougher opponent at the major, but OG are playing very solid.
Yeah. Almost impenetrable defense as we move into the 3rd draft of the grand final. The Phoenix is the first pick this time round for OG.
So NaVi has some plan up their sleeves with these. Well, the lifestealer ban makes sense, but the Juggernaut ban as well.
Yeah, that's a little.
I think they were hoping to get Phoenix. I think they
Wisp in the pool.
I think they hoped that OG would take Elder Titan first, and they would get Phoenix instead.
Yeah, never mind. Wisp was banned by OG, of course.
Yeah.
But at this rate, OG might get Phoenix and ET.
Yeah, what did they take here? Batrider, Earth Spirit, was it? That's what they tried last time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the Nyx solution that they used in the...
All right, they're going to switch things up.
In the major.
Okay, so it's a Void ET this time.
Radiant team pick.
You weren't that impressed with the ET in game 1, were you?
Not so much.
The thing is, I don't know how much it is the heroes right now. I feel like it's...
10 seconds
The thing is, I think OG are kind of drafting them a bit into a corner.
5 seconds
one of the things I feel about OG right now is that they have figured out this patch really well, I think. They're a really difficult team to draft against because they play all of the heroes that are strong right now. There's Phoenix, Earth Spirit, they're good with all of those, the Nyx. And they're pressuring the lanes a lot. So it's very difficult to play against this team right now.
And you really can't out-greed them because they're one of the teams that can end the game at 20-25 if you would even just pick a slightly too greedy lineup or just have one mistake in a big team fight. So that's, you know, that's a characteristic of one of the good teams in this patch. You can end games early. So as we talked about, NaVi need to focus on their early game. This game looks like they're just kind of all in on team fight. I like the Faces with Elder Titan opener. I don't really like Elder Titan so much in their hands. It's more so that they take it away from OG.
So a nice safe opening yet again from OG.
This is pretty unusual though. Most teams don't like revealing both their supports in the first 2.
I think it's okay when they're not in a hurry to pick up an offlaner. There's probably not anything they really feel like they need to have.
Yeah, and I also think the Nyx is a hero that you don't really want to pick the Nyx into the Faceless Void. It's not great playing that hero. You can just chrono him when he's raged, and then after the rage, it's easy to deal with the hero.
And I think Elder Titan's actually decent against them too, with the Earth Splitter.
Yeah.
This is actually just a ploy. Both of these heroes that NaVi have so far is great for setting up for hooks. Just chrono and then you hook.
Radiant team.
I wish.
Yes.
I wish.
Great analysis.
I would love to see a pudge.
I have a feeling it's not coming.
Don't give up hope.
10
Hey, I just want to see a Windrunner. That's
5 seconds remaining.
much more likely.
We could see NaVi like tend towards draft some other teams and put something less flashy, like a Death Prophet mid. I think it's kind of more stable for them.
Yeah.
Combos well with Faceless Void as well.
Yeah, and just not relying on Dendi so much to carry them and just go for the typical team fighter mid and then go for something a little bit harder for Daya Ra. What do you guys think about AM? Do you think like AM's just generally weak this patch, and OG, they drafted it even though they knew that the draft was worse against NaVi just because it was a safe win, or what?
I think last game NaVi had a lot of magical damage.
NaVi's
They didn't
turn to
have
pick.
all that great physical. Well, it was the TA, but I think they knew that the TA wasn't going to have that great of a game. And then there was the Slark. And aside from that, it's an Earth Spirit and a Bat Rider.
There's no real catch.
It's kind of hard for them to deal with that anti-mage without.
10
Yeah, they didn't have good
seconds
catch.
remaining.
They also had a lot of magic damage, and they're gonna be extending spells to
5
kill OG's
seconds
heroes
remaining.
because of the boat. So the anti-mage is gonna be really effective.
And they probably already determined that it would be a
Reserve
utility
time.
Kunkka. So
Yeah.
they needed that hard carry. And what better than to pick an anti-mage for Miracle?
Well, it wasn't like he hasn't played it before. It was only a month before, which, yeah, it's kind of a while, but he's familiar.
Yeah, it's one of those heroes that he used to play a lot back in the day.
Hello.
Radiant team pick.
I like this from NaVi. I think this is what they need to do.
NaVi's turn to
I think
pick.
maybe this is what they needed to do in the previous game.
I mean, I think it's like this. Now
Game too late.
it's 2-0 now, and that's when you feel like, okay, you know,
Everything
we're
else.
backs against the wall. You know, it's okay. Just go do what, you know, give it our best
10
shot.
seconds
Try something
remaining.
different.
You know, Dendi was one of the only players, I think, to actually run Skywrath mid
5
when
seconds
Skywrath was
remaining.
first released in Captain's Mode. But I don't know if you want to risk that in this game.
Reserve time.
I like it as a solution to deal with the Phoenix.
Be unusual to pick a Dendi hero quite early. They've seemingly been leaving to 4 or 5.
Yep.
If they could get something like a last pick Tinker against not a lot of catch, I think that could be really nice for them.
So what fits in here?
Something that's not so ultimate dependent. I like it when they can take fights without using Chronosphere and Elder Titan, just because like one mistake, one bad Chrono, and then you lose a tower, you lose Roche, you lose a lot of map control.
Something
So,
with a low cooldown? All right, well, maybe we'll just go for a standard Dendi Invoker then.
Radiant team pick.
another combination with the Faceless Void is nice there.
Yeah, all around solid draft from both of them so far. It's a lot of synergy in both lineups.
Yeah, and they banned out a lot of the magic immunity. They banned out Lifestealer and Juggernaut
10
in the first phase, so you don't have to worry about anti-magic or BKBs for a very long time, which
5
their
seconds
lineup can shine.
remaining.
It might pose problems past 25, but if you're Navi, you're more worried about getting past the first laning
Reserve
phase and
time.
first few fights.
Could potentially see another anti-mage, if you like,
DK for OG.
NaVi's turn to
from
bat.
OG.
Yep. This is a little more... it's kind of going back towards the epicenter kind of meta, really.
It's just a nice hero up in front. You always want a hero that can like threaten Void. Like DK plus Lion can take him out very easily. He also has a lot of plus armor, which is nice for ZT. You know, you don't want a hero like Terrorblade with a lot of base armor.
Reserve time.
Not that great of a matchup versus Invoker, but again, No-Tail is more sacrificial. He's just up there in front to tank so that his teammates can do their thing.
I feel like OG won something
Okay.
with their
Radiant
Darkseer
team
last
back.
pick. Yeah, the
They
anti-mage ban is
banned out the
okay.
AM,
But
yeah.
I think they want something to pair with that Darkseer, whether it's a hero that can benefit from the Iron Shell or something that can benefit from the Vacuum.
Do you
Picking
think
up-
I
they
just
want
want
the
some-
anti-mage? They would have picked it up fourth if they did, right?
10 seconds
I'm not
remaining.
entirely sure. They might have, but
It was
don't
almost
have
as if
to.
Fly
5
seemed a bit
seconds
distraught by the fact that they banned it out, but they must have seen that coming, whereas
Yeah, I
the
think so.
Dragon Knight wasn't a need to pick since
Yeah.
they haven't played it.
So what else can we see from Miracle perhaps this game?
Slarks.
Rick.
Is this carry
It's a
Riki?
carry Riki.
NaVi's
I'm
turn
calling it.
to pick.
It's
Yeah.
a carry Riki.
Okay. This could be disgusting.
It has to be a carry Riki, right? That's
Yeah.
the other. There's no other way. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be.
Carry Riki.
10
Okay.
seconds remaining.
I mean,
5 seconds remaining.
if
Already
anyone
thought-
can do it, it's gotta be OG, right?
Reserve time.
Oh my.
Or a mid lion.
And then what? Dragon Knight safe?
Yeah, I don't know. Not saying
way,
it makes
dude.
sense.
Nah.
That is not the
Carry Riki, man.
Carry Riki.
I'm on board.
Okay, last pick.
They usually run Ditya Ra faces Void, right? So looking at a general hero, I think more likely. Although they did bin out.
Oh, Lycan.
All right.
Wow.
I'm all down with the carry Riki. Let's see it.
Okay. If it's to carry Riki, who's had the better draw?
Wait a minute.
Oh, okay, it's a crit Riki.
Is it?
The Miracle
Okay,
Lion.
all right. We got a little bit overexcited.
Oh, no way, Jacob. Oh, no way. They're not going to go Lion this. Give me a break.
Or is this a Miracle Support Lion?
It's a miracle support line.
just wait. Just wait for it.
All right, thanks all three of you. We are going to head back to our commentators for game number 3. Our OG about to take another championship. Or can NaVi hold on? We've also got a special guest in the commentary box joining Capitalist and Toby One.
Thanks a lot, Paul. Yes, we're going to have a substitution for game number 3. We are joined by Kuro from Team Liquid. We are honored by your presence.
I am super excited. Anytime I get like a really high-level pro, it's going to turn into an interview. You know, we're only going to like watch half of the game.
Yeah.
Toby's going to shout occasionally, and I'm just going to try and get into the brain of Kuro.
That's the play. And it's good to have a German here for a final here in Frankfurt.
Yeah,
On
I'm
the
glad
castle
to be
desk.
here.
For battle.
It's the third game. Let's see what's going on. I already see a Miracle on Lion. So yeah.
Yeah, this is already really different, right? The Miracle Lion mid. I thought for a second we were actually going to be seeing a carry Riki. The panel thought so too, but bring back the old days of Weapon X. How long has it been since like core Lion was a thing?
I mean, in Dota 1, it was actually a thing.
Yeah.
The Chinese really like to play the Lion solo mid. MMY was a very famous Lion player. He
Yeah.
was the best Lion, actually. But ever since then, I haven't seen it in a very long time. The other day, I actually had a discussion with Miracle about this hero. We discussed whether he's fun to play or not. We agreed he's fun on position 4, but apparently he's even more fun on position 2.
Yeah,
30
this is
seconds
definitely
to battle.
a hero that has the opportunity for some swag points. And Miracle is known for his heavy outplays sometimes. The mid matchup, Lion versus Invoker, I'm presuming this is going to be pretty decent for Lion, but
Well, this is an extra Invoker, so if he's gonna like get the Force Spirits, it's kind of hard for Lion to get less.
he's just going to be spamming out Earthspike
The
and
battle
Siphon
begins.
Mana and just try and repeat that as much as possible. He's trying to win for the deny and the bounty rune. Jesus, Miracle. He's starting from the 0 minute mark just to see if he can outplay NaVi.
He also went for the boost of speed first. That's an interesting choice instead of going for the null talisman. He's gonna have an even harder time. Oh, actually, I see. He's actually gonna play
Okay.
support.
All right,
Okay.
okay. We're switching it up.
So it is
really
actually
is
a
core
one.
Riki.
It's a core Riki, judging by his item build.
Nice. Creed is a super big fan of Riki. You can't tell by his Dota 2 icon in game. Though I thought that he was a fan of offlane Riki, but apparently we're going to be seeing it put into action as safe lane as Miracle jukes us all.
Yeah, so they've switched roles. I mean, lineup-wise, I think NaVi's lineup is pretty strong. It's pretty hard for OG to take actual team fights just because of Chronosphere and Lycan.
It's kind of one of those lineups that is like it wins team fights and then it turns into push. That's what the Lycan in particular gives you. If you win a team fight, you guarantee take towers. That seemed to be a favorite of Liquid in particular.
Yeah, Lycan is one of the few heroes that punishes you very hard when you lose a team fight. Just because he's gonna take down your whole base very quickly. I'll take the Roshan.
It seems like, at least this is how I feel about it, the carries, we seem to go one or two directions. It's either going to have some sort of pushing carry that punishes you after you lose a team fight, or it's a carry that scales really well into the late game and is just really tough to gank. Like Slark, I think, is one of the really good examples of those type of heroes that it just becomes difficult to make rotations to that safe lane.
Yeah, right now strategy is a little bit of a weird spot. We've been seeing every team has their own idea of the game. We barely have similar teams in terms of strategy. Everyone's trying to figure out what the best stuff is. The patches keep refreshing and new balance updates keep coming.
Do you feel like the last patch changed things particularly much?
It's hard to say just because it's so new.
Right.
Usually it takes at least 2 weeks for things to solidify. But there has been like minor changes.
Oh,
Moon.
nicely played.
He's bringing Didier Ras so low. It's like the third chase he's had against him now. And like, what's your punishment? Arstyle's going to move in, throw one orb, and Moon completely unfazed.
Yeah, not much he can really do there. This lane is actually really good for Darkseer as soon as he got past that like sticky level 1 area where the Skywrath tries to zone you out. But we see Darkseers, they know how to play around that. They just double Ion Shell early on, play around the creeps, they get level 2, and then he's kind of safe to do whatever.
The important part about laning phase for NaVi is that the Faceless Void is going to have a very good lane.
They might have a crack here at mid. Notel going to get hit already by Force Spirits. Courier as well coming forward. Notel, the orbs are up. Then he keeps the attack going. The Sunstrike, Notel, he walks up north, so he'll dodge it. Back to the tower, lets one breathe fire go. The damage, he'll make it to the tree line. The attack, he jukes back up. Arstyle, the orb is blind. Does Notel have enough life? No, he doesn't. Arstyle will take the first blood. While over in the jungle, Seneko.
And he gets away, he's going to neutral deny. Oh, Seneko. All right, a good start for NaVi finally as they get the 2-0 just as Kuro's setting up, but talking about how the General's going to have a good time in this off lane with the help of Seneco's Elder Titan. They end up very drastically winning it.
And that was a very close combat at the bottom lane while they went on the DK mid. Could have went both ways. Seneko played very nicely, as he always does.
Seneko seems to have a particular penchant for those roaming style heroes.
Seneco's early game movement could be possibly the best in the whole world. This person is just on point in whatever he does in the first 10 minutes. I think we've seen the Sand King earlier yesterday. It was very amazing to watch too.
Oh yeah, he like single-handedly won the game with the first 10 minutes. The way he moved around. The Elder Titan is actually someone I kind of want to talk about a bit. I feel like he's a hero that is, he rose in popularity. Oh, goodbye, crit. Never mind.
Seneko also denied the bounty rune of the DK. But yeah, Elder Titan has been making a comeback due to OG's success with the hero. He also got buffed with the patch before the recent one. This hero has a weird strength about himself, and that is that he's an anti-carry in every way. They're trying to get the DK in mid lane.
Yeah, they might be able to get him too with the Spirit in there. The Stomp follow-up, no tail. Force Spirit waits. Okay, no tail's able to stick charge up. Back behind the T1 tower. Arstyle another orb. Fly trying to get the life, and he just gives enough. Thanks to the Sunray, he'll be able to walk his way all the way back home.
And NaVi is picking up a very good rhythm. Lately, it's been the case that if you keep the rhythm up during the early mid game, it's going to lead you to a very nice win. Just want to keep the aggression up. NaVi likes to play aggressive. Or they're going bottom on the Ricky.
Yeah, Crit trying to hide, but the dust is out. He'll blink strike himself up and away. General going to time walk up too. That dust only got another 1 second left on a Crit. Okay.
That's a lot of damage.
That's 3 points in time lock as well on General. No points up in dilation for him.
Yeah, that's the change of time lock for you right there. Less damage inside Chronosphere, but more damage just regularly once you get that proc.
I think it's interesting the way NaVi runs the Lycan. Like when we see them play Lycan, they used to sack him in the safe lane, or they actually try to own him.
Yeah, Miracle's been waiting around here for like the last 2 minutes looking for an opening. So Moon just commits the wall, chases the tree line, but now they're a little bit too deep. More support's on its way, and that's gonna be in the form of Seneko. Spirit up, looking for a stomp. With Moon in the tree line, he's gonna try and surge himself out, but thanks to the stun from Miracle, he'll keep the Uriah in position. The Sunstrike's coming in. Miracle starts his TP. No stuns available, and Miracle barely able to escape in the tree line.
That was unfortunate. I think the passive of the wall stopped the stomp. So.
Oh, yeah.
That's why the Sunstrike couldn't hit.
Yeah, that is actually pretty unfortunate. They like, Digio was trying to bait that out. He knew that Miracle was there for so long, but now it looks like No Tail's dead mid.
Easy rotation, easy kill. At the same time, you get Lycan down the top lane. They're going to dive in a little bit deeper. The Spirit's over on Snake over the Chrono. General catches two. The Sunstrike right in position. Moon will pop as well, giving Dendi a double kill, thanks to one he got previously.
It was a very good movement by General. The go by fly was actually very nice, but the problem OG is facing is that they actually lack damage to burst targets. Every time they go on a hero, it's just taking too much time.
Is that the problem because you're also running like this core Ricky?
Probably. There's a bunch of issues OG's gonna face. They're gonna go mid on Miracle.
Now they're looking for the Sunstrike, but Miracle with the cold snap damage. Miracle stick charges are still not enough. Denny now claims his third kill of the game, and yep, there's your jump in. The sun rays out. Dira is no quick way to get away from this. Crit follows up, and they have enough damage. But Snako rotates in, will get the stomp, but NoTel with the double damage rune in range of the tier 1 tower will keep NaVi at bay at least.
It's a very fast-paced game. NaVi just keeps up the rhythm of killing them, and OG's also a very quick team. They want to respond as much as they can.
Yeah, you can see part of the damage department, they're trying to move Miracle around as sort of this roamer, but he by himself is ganking for like a Dragonite for level 6. That doesn't do much, but maybe General.
They have enough damage, even using the damage from the wall to get the kill as the Observer Ward just to the east, which set up for the gank.
At this point, they're doing a pretty good job of trying to threaten that top lane. That's one of the upsides. While the other lanes aren't going so well, the Darkseer has had a continual presence at top and will be able to pick up a pretty fast mech, but I'm not sure how OG turned that into that early mech into team fight wins from there.
OG has identified that Navi's safe lane is their weak spot. They've just literally put the Lycan there alone without any kind of help.
Dendi? Is he around here a little bit too long? They actually don't have a stump between the two of them because NoTel went for 3 points up and breathed fire. Combining with the Sunray and maybe enough damage to catch up to Dendi. He'll get up onto the hillside. You're still got a fight going on top lane at the same time. But Dendi, Sunstrike's looking for Fly to walk into it with a cold snap. Dendi will end up dropping one Miracle back behind the tier 1 tower. The Wolves are chasing him down. Santidira will get the revenge kill. 1 for 1.
That was a Invoker overstaying his welcome a little bit too much. The tower push is very valuable though. Just Radiant losing the tier 1 mid tower is so much freedom for Dire to move into there. They already put 2 wards there too.
Yeah, this is something that Blitz continually harps on in our cast, the idea that the mid lane tower is one of the most important in the game just because it helps you protect, like Dire side, it helps you control Roshan, Radiant side, it helps you keep some hold on the jungle, otherwise it's just completely wide open for Dire to invade, but it's already kind of exposed.
So NaVi should be feeling very good overall, but they do realize that the Lycan is falling off a bit too much. He needs to pick up his pace in the game.
That support, General! Time walks out, dodges the stun, the Sunstrike's coming in, it hits on crit, the Sunray from Fly was not doing enough, and now they turn. The Spear is down with a cold snap on Miracle. He's dying too quickly, the Icarus dive will help save Fly. But NaVi, even with that rotation, Dendi TP'd in underneath the Observer Ward from OG. OG tried to respond, but NaVi bring the numbers.
And NaVi is doing the totally correct moves. They just keep up the pressure and move all their heroes bottom. Try to get the tower.
Yeah, abuse that, I mean, especially since it's already shown to be a weak spot just in the first 5 minutes. Keep abusing that safe lane, take the tower nice and early, give OG no opportunity to be able to farm their jungle. If you had to like seriously theory craft a safe lane Riki, what would you say the big upside of the hero is and what are some of the downsides?
Well, you're putting me in a weird spot here.
Trying to theory craft a kind of a little bit of a joke pick from OG? Or experimental?
Riki's safe lane does have some kind of value. I'm not sure you should go Facebook zone. You should build a carry.
Oh, they're jumping in. Going on Dendi, is the stun going to be there? The Hex to start with because he's outside the smoke. Stun will be there with the tricks of the trade. They find just enough damage to kill off the Invoker.
This has been a common kill right now on Invoker. Twice he's staying on the lane after pushing the tower. Usually you don't want to linger around the lane. Oh, very close forwards there. So it's like if you like get an objective like a kill or a tower, usually it's not very smart to linger around because the natural reaction of the opposite team is to just move their heroes there. It's a very natural reaction. And that's what OG has been doing, getting the kills on Invoker.
They're now playing a little bit more protection around crit in that mid lane while NoTel's actually farming up his Dragonite. He went for the Dragonlance in this game instead of trying to go for like a faster armlet.
Yeah, I mean, Armlet is a pretty good item for quite some time now. Dragonlance does provide a very even stats. It's kind of a good item on nearly every hero. Like, it's a new drums in some ways.
Just a really stat-efficient item that if you can use it, you might as well pick it up.
OG's coming. They've already used the Dire Scan. NaVi may not be ready for this one. Roshan at 2k life. Now Miracle comes in looking for that Ravish done General. 3-man chrono. They catch Miracle on the front lines. Sunstrike to the back. So Miracle's down. The ET split hits perfectly. Tricks of the trade at the back line. Not really doing anything against this NaVi lineup. Now they trigger the dust. Up the Sentry Ward 2. 3 heroes. It's a 4 which will allow for the kill over in hardstyle. And Dendy, the stun from NoTel, holds him in position. They're dropping down low. NoTel actually doing some work, but the stomps, the ET, Snakeo's all over this fight. It's still a 4-for-2 as Snakeo forced to retreat up to the high ground, away from the breeze firing. Spirits back in, but that last attack able to reach from NoTel as General leaps away as well. Roshan still low, and Didier coming back in to finish the job with the Vlads. He may have a chance at this, but support's in again from OG. They're on the way.
It's going to be close. They should be able to pick up the Aegis in time, but they
Can they
might
get out?
still die.
Didier he's in the pit, so is General. Time walk out for General, and Didier well, he wants to. Okay, interesting. Finger of death. He actually caught it with the observer one. Finger of death able to reach it. Didier they turn the sun ray on, so Aegis will burn instantly, and you can say goodbye as well for Lycan. Dendy looking for some revenge with the walls flying, forced into the supernova. NoTel doesn't really have a lot of mana to work with. He's just got the range there from the Dragonlance. Snakeo, he's not going to commit anything else for now. Just a quick little harass spirit, and they'll back out.
The ward drop into the Finger of Death. That was clutch by Miracle. We haven't seen any big plays out of his support just yet, but that was the first sign of life for the OG here.
Yeah, that was a really good move by OG to contest the Roshan. OG's been very good at contesting Roshan lately. It paid off for them. That wasn't a good move for NaVi. They lost more than they gained.
Yeah, it started off kind of nasty with that quick Chronosphere.
The Chrono itself was amazing. Just didn't come together enough. The Lycan couldn't dish out enough damage. He's like having a hard time with getting items. He's having a hard time finding his place in the game.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? The NaVi, they seem to do so well in the laning phase, but their two most important heroes, the Invoker and the Lycan, had a very rough time. Lycan in the laning phase was obviously shut out by Darkseer and repeatedly ganked, and then the Invoker as well got picked off one too many times. And their item progression is important because it provides all the damage for NaVi.
And the Necro Free on Lycan is extremely valuable in this game. It can shut down the Riki and the Lion just by itself. But this Void is essentially the real carrier of the game. He even went for the Midas.
General.
So Lycan is like a position-free hero. I mean, NaVi has kind of planned on that, and OG is smoking to kill that Lycan one more time.
They're also going to reveal their new item, which is the armlet over on NoTel. Looking for the opening with a quick surge up with the Iron Shell. You can say goodbye to Lion, but Didier being sunrayed down the top. So Miracle just gets picked off in the river.
Normally you would say like, oh, but they got the kill on Miracle for Dichira. That's a fair trade up, but joke's on you, NaVi. That's just a support Miracle.
Miracle with the third lowest net worth in the game.
OG is playing very well. They started to group up and get the kills. They isolate the target and just get the kills by overwhelming their like heroes like the Lycan. I feel like NaVi should just do the same though. They shouldn't be afraid of facing the issue. That is OG. They should just move together and try to find kills on every Chronosphere. I feel though that NaVi is a little bit angsty. It's probably the result of the games before and they're having a hard time against OG.
Is it also something maybe OG was thinking when you pick up a core Riki that NaVi doesn't have any real experience playing up against it? Or do you think it's just like a little bit of, hey, OG, they want to just try anything?
I think they're just, to put it nicely, experimenting.
That would be the good way to put it. They still have the Dragonite top of the net worth, so NoTel's progression in items has been pretty good, but they do have to start worrying about the double minuses of NaVi and how that's going to start filling out that net worth chart for them. NaVi, taking Kuro's advice here, are going to be grouping up a bit more when they have the Chronosphere off cooldown and start pressuring some towers with the Exort Invoker.
Yeah, it seems like there will be a tower trade. The question is if NaVi actually wants to contest the mid lane. General already TP'd in. They're gonna fight the mid lane.
With that leap to get a Chrono, he can catch out 3 right now. But the stun from NoTel will catch him. The Spirit's falling over from Snakeo. There's a great space, but no! The Finger of Death from Miracle will remove the Chronosphere. You have taken up the line with a splitter available. NoTel, no way to escape, but Didier also moving off that top lane.
Yeah, bottom lane, they try to get the Invoker too.
Does Crit have enough though? Like, Denny's gonna jump in Viz, Moon's coming, but they got no detection.
Yeah, Crit, I think he was waiting, and he kept on waiting, hoping that someone would come with some extra detection for him, because he knew that was just gonna be a problem. As soon as he gets outside of that silence, usually...
These kind of movements, they're like related to how cleanly you can set them up. So we see like NaVi pushing bottom, and they want to defend the tier 1 mid tower at the same time. You could say it's a greedy idea, but I do like the move. Also unfortunate that General couldn't pull off the Chronosphere. but it was still worth it for NaVi.
Yeah, great reaction there from Miracle, seeing that one. A large part of it is the way that NaVi, like they send their initiators back first, but still keeping the Invoker on the front lines. It might have even caught OG by surprise if maybe it had been nighttime or something. That kind of rotation might have actually meant a full Chronosphere.
Oh, definitely on nighttime. It would have been, like, nighttime is going to be favorable for NaVi either way, just because they have the Faceless Void.
Yeah.
OG have a target to smoke too, thanks to that aggressive ward that's down. That's the second ping we're seeing come out from Fly.
They finally get an Necronomicon.
Yeah, that's a big pickup for the Lycan. He can now just hunt on the line by himself. Line does have a blink though.
Yep, and he's ready to use it. The Observer Ward sees perfectly Didira. Search on Miracle. He actually doesn't find the blink area. There's no vision from NaVi. They do not see anyone from OG moving up until finally the Wolves have made a little bit of a move down. So they'll see Notel.
Yeah, right now NaVi is playing very well. They're utilizing the map correctly. The Invoker's just pressuring bottom. Like, defending the mid tower just leads to the bottom tower dying anyway for the Invoker.
Is under attack.
I think NaVi wants to contest this once more.
The immediate smoke pop. They still get the tier 1 tower, and they've got all the
fallen.
information too.
It's a long jump forward, Miracle. But Crit's right on top of Didira up inside the jungle area. But when Time walks back,
Radiant's bottom tower is under
they
attack.
realize that maybe there isn't a counter initiation straight away. Blink strike up from Crit. Try and slow down Didira. Miracle's going to arrive as well. No finger of death, but they've still got the stun controls. Going for the extra attacks, the tricks of the trade. Moon actually backs in for the kill. They get the wall off. Moon, does he have enough life? No, he doesn't. He'll be brought down, and now it's actually General having a time walk off the damage, but Crit, Blink striking forward, the Nova, forcing NaVi back into their base. Dendy, he's just out of range. He'll survive on 5 HP, looking for the last spirit hit. There's not going to come. So a 1-for-1 trade-off with the Stomp. Crit and Fly will have to stick around for a little bit longer, but there's no follow-up from NaVi.
That was so close to being great for OG, but they just couldn't quite finish off some of the heroes. Part of it being that the Elder Titan managed to get a pretty decent stomp that stopped the Crit from really continuing to move forward. And also them shutting down Crit in the first place. He's really not turning into that carry we hoped him to be. You know, Blackout Diffusal Blade and that sort of thing. It just means he jumps on somebody. He can't by himself guarantee the kill. He always needs line with him.
Yeah, Crit is playing very well though. He keeps mining the Lycan and then just sets the pace for his team.
Well, they're jumping in again. Snake in the mid. Miracle commits the ultimate. So does Crit. Such a low cooldown as well.
Like, essentially the movement of OG is dictated by Crit. He just keeps scouting out the NaVi heroes and the team just moves onto them.
Would you say that that's like one of the big things about Dota 2 right now? It's just like so much about information and what you can get. That's why heroes like Riki and even a little bit earlier on, Bounty Hunter were so highly valued.
Yeah, it's always been the case. Mid lane.
There's the silence. Yeah, General should go down if Crit can finish off the damage. General now Time walks off a little bit of it, and they go up to Miracle. The back, the wall, the meg charge is enough to keep him alive. As Didira in that form, at least General's going to take a fall. Didira wants to go back in for Moon, realizing he's low, but all of OG came to defend that NaVi attack, and surprisingly also no one from NaVi didn't have everyone there. Dendy was still on bot lane.
I mean, every kill on Miracle is a good kill, no matter what. So the case of information is like, you want information in Dota, and then you want to, then the second step is how you evaluate the information. That distinguishes the winning teams usually, or like the best teams. And OG is excellent at both. NaVi has a good way of finding the targets with the Lycan. The Lycan Wolves are extremely good at just scouting out and doing stuff. But DTR is just having a really hard time in this game. He just really wants to get his items.
One of the big things is OG so willing to group up to make sure they win these team fights, but NaVi do have the bit of an exploit, one of the few cores that can really truly split push and still potentially be there if he wants to be with the Invoker. Does he have boots of travel yet?
Yeah, he has the travel boots. Right, so. There's a lot of burden on Dendy in this game. He's the highest farmed hero, as Invoker is usually. He has to do some magic for his team soon. General unfortunately kept dying like 3 times in a row, so he lost the pace of getting his items.
Well, he wanted to do a quick D-ward. Ends up not sacrificing any real big abilities from OG to find it, and now they'll actually D-ward the D-wards.
I mean, the team fights seem to be kind of going back and forth, but it's always OG getting consistent pickoffs.
Yeah. Now he has to be careful. This Roche area is especially against OG, they really love to protect the Roshan area. They either contest it or they just go there before. And the game before, we saw something similar with the Conqueror. They kept just camping the Dire Ancients and got kills over kills. NaVi, like, they should leave the Invoker alone and group up with the other heroes. That's their like best choice of the game as for now.
What about OG? If it is so important for them to be able to contest Roshan, is there not some value in them trying to 5-man push that bottom tier 1? Or do you think it just doesn't make enough of a difference?
Naturally, the bottom tier 1 is a very good pickup to like make the Roche harder for Dire, but it's just not worth it anymore. They had a rough safe lane. OG is smoking in too for the kill right now.
With the Observer, what they see DRR pretty perfectly. A Miracle, he's the frontline jumper again, the only one with that Blink Dagger. Of course, you do have Crit ready to jump as well. DRR forced off the side, tricks a trade. You get that ultimate off, catching out Miracle and No-Tell the back wall. DRR just gets pulled into it, then the split, however. Arstal dropping low, General's going to join him as well in the grave. No-Tell, double kill for him. You lose Miracle, the initiator, but the rest of OG still standing. And damn, they're strong. A full Satanic on that DK coming into the fight. And he didn't even use it, really helpful to sustain
a lot of work this game.
Yeah.
He's just being the frontliner, and now he actually struggles dealing with this DK alone. They don't have enough DPS as of now to burst them.
Yeah. Has to be one of the few DKs as well that doesn't have an initiating item.
But to be fair, they did get Miracle, so I guess that's fine. So they're gonna get the bottom tower now. They couldn't push it before because it was simply not worth it. The Invoker just keeps pushing in the lane and they rather went for kills.
Right. Just easier for you to go through mid than trying to risk pick off on Invoker. And
you always need to evaluate how much it is worth it to go for certain objectives in the game, and OG is being very spot on.
Dire's bottom tower.
So once it becomes easy for them to take the tier 1, or at least force the deny from NaVi, they make that rotation after the team fight. And they've now definitely loosened the hold of NaVi over their Roshan pit. OG don't have the greatest team for taking it themselves very quickly, but they at least want to keep it out of the hands of NaVi.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for NaVi. I think after having such a good start and then you fall back, usually you feel very bad in the game. You need to keep your head cool and try to find a way, or try to fulfill the winning condition. And they already see the Roshan. It's going to be a very big fight. OG will definitely contest the Roche.
They're looping around exactly where NaVi is waterfalls. They see Crypt moving in, Arstal, the man, to try and hold out at least that Ricky Maru, but Ricky Maru jumps forward, going up to Arstal, putting down the wall. They're going to come out of Roshan once again here, NaVi. They've already lost Arstal, the Lycan walls to be triggered, and they're chasing Crypt into the tree line, and he blinks down. Moon moved over, so he's in range for Crypt. That ulti from General is able to actually catch the Ricky Maru, while No-Tell catches the back. What is the save ray? He can't even kill off Crypt. They bounce around, he actually blinks right down. Spirit finally in for Seneko, gets the stun as well. The splitter is coming and flies in and gets snapped straight back, but no! He also Novas! He'll end up surviving.
The Diffo Blade called out.
Okay, Miracle still feels like it. Slips in behind the lines. Reason why you have to kill Miracle before the fight is one. General looking for a lock. Time walk forward, the stun strike from Dendy! A fraction of a second too late. Miracle at the movement speed. There's your lock from General. The Miracle surging away. General up. Miracle down, but the roots are there. And Faces 4 will be able to reach him. Support's on the way in the form of Dendy beating forward. The blink's out. They want to get out here, but down on Roshan. It is No-Tell and Arstal battling it out. The Mystic Flare drop, but No-Tell is a beast. A tank. 3 seconds until he's going to tank back off cooldown with a breathe fire. He already gets the kill on Skywrath Mage. And they keep going up to Fly. No Icarus dive available in General. He's getting enough of a lock with the help of Dendy. They find the kill. The buyback now out from Fly to come back over to Roshan, who's a 2.6k life. Do they keep going here?
I think both teams will just keep running their Roshans way too low. They don't have Chrono and they don't have the Phoenix egg. They'll contest it anyway. Notia picked up the DD before and just kept hitting the Roshan.
No-Tell's only going to go in, but the Spirit's going to slow him down.
Yeah, NaVi can play slow around this. They don't need to rush into the pit to try and defend just yet. They have the other Titan. And again, OG aren't that fast at taking it.
And Evoker is getting his Aghanims. That's a very big pick. He also has 16 levels now, so he can bust out all the spell combos he wishes to.
So that's up. Your Necro books are up and running. Chrono's back off cooldown. The Mantis being used to scout out right now by General. Easy to get rid of, however, when you got a Lion on your team.
This is the classic like mutual respect. Let's wait our cooldowns and go for it again, boys. So both teams just get their cooldowns, try to seize the chance. ET is very good at controlling the Roche pit, but so is Phoenix. But Nolte is just manning up, knows his position in the game. He's very tanky.
Well, 2.5k HP. And still having that Satanic and Dragon form up his sleeve. Why not? And that's with the armlet turned off. So NaVi, they smoke up. They're going to try and slip themselves underneath that Radiant Observer ward. Already the Veil of Discord's on Notel. They drop down that ultimate. And not enough damage on Notel. The Sunray for flying a little bit too far away too. But it doesn't matter. No one Arstyle's already dropping. They need more damage with the dive forward into the Nova. General has to leave himself outside the pit. The splitter won't do enough. The back, they're trying to keep Miracle alive with these Necro units and Wolves chasing down the Lion. They at least burn off enough mana so we cannot Finger of Death.
And looks like Roche is in the hands of OG. So unless something Elder Titan does, he doesn't even have his ultimate. So
Sunstrike snipe?
Attempt at a snipe, but
that was a nice try. Yeah, OG kept their cool during the whole Roche engagement. It was a very impatient spellcasting by NaVi. It didn't really click together. Skyrift ulti went out, Void didn't even Chronosphere, Volker used all his spells. It just shows how NaVi feels in the game. They just feel very pressured. No matter if it's a Miracle Line or a crit Ricky being on core, they just feel like they're getting pushed to the back of the wall.
Can Miracle get this jump on bottom? He's looking for it. With Moon, there's your Hex. You got your stun, you got your Finger. General's gone. The Gem of True Sight's on the ground. Moon will pick it up. But can he get away with it? No, he won't. There's enough follow-up damage. The blink count from Miracle will get him away to safety. But the Gem of True Sight's now in the hands of Didi Ra.
It was a nice retaliation by NaVi. Usually I would suggest to not farm alone for General. He's dying this way. But NaVi got the gem for it, so it's actually worth it.
So in your opinion, you see that stalemate. We see it a lot around the Roshan pit. What is NaVi, what should they have done to be able to break that stalemate a bit better?
I think the fight itself was already pretty hard for NaVi to begin with. What they can do is they can flank around with a smoke and
you do the wrap out around through bottom lane, you mean?
That's one option at least. And let the Void lead the way. Put the Spirit in, scout out their positions. Start poking them with Lycan and find the right Chronosphere. Put all your spells on one target. I mean, they picked Skyrift for the Chronosphere anyway, so you should use it together.
Notel is so big. He just finished up his Assault Cuirass just before the 30-minute mark.
Yeah, Nolte has taken all the responsibility for his team. He keeps leading the way. He's doing a very good job.
What is it about this build that he's allowed to go this, straight into Satanic after the armlet?
Well, first of all, it's interesting that he went for armlet anyway after the Dragonlance. And Note has been a fan of Satanic anyway. Like a couple months ago when he played heroes like Gyrocopter, we've seen him pick up early Satanic on heroes like Gyrocopter, maybe other heroes I'm not remembering right now. I think he just likes to go in, tank up, make the way easy for his team. It's a way of initiation, but just, being a fat dragon running in.
That is kind of the natural antithesis, right? If initiation is key, if you're able to get yourself just a really tanky hero that puts himself on the front line, that it's actually bad for the enemy team to initiate.
Yeah,
Knight, Timbersaw, these kind of heroes have become quite popular because of that, in part because of that.
Note is just extremely smart at evaluating this game. He understands by just making himself tanky and running in. He makes, if you look at the heroes of OG, they're all backliners. They just want to stay in the back. They want to find the right moment, get good impales, get a vacuum, get the Phoenix spells, and so Note just takes all responsibility running in, making the life easy for his team. And at the same time, NaVi has no real response to this dragon. They do not want to put all their cooldowns on him. I think he wouldn't even die at this point. And if they would use too much commitment onto the Dragon Knight, they'll actually just get wiped by the rest of OG.
There's so much turnaround potential with the active of the Satanic at that point. If you've blown all your cooldowns even then, it just frees up the rest of OG. All those backliners like I was talking about, they can just stream forward then, knowing that there's no punishment from NaVi left.
NaVi are heavily grouped up. They were sitting as 5 men for about 20 seconds just next to their tier 3 tower. They have the smoke over an art style, so potentially they could go for a roam gank, but they also have little to no aggressive vision. You got one ward now on the mid lane, and you got another one that's sitting very defensively inside that jungle, so they don't see where OG's coming from. Now it's going to be telegraphed more as NoTel reaches the tier 2 on top.
Yeah, right now OG is in a very good spot in the game. They can keep pressing the advantage, and NaVi is no real answer to that. But if NaVi is capable of delaying the game for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, I do believe they can scale nicely. Just because they have an Invoker, the more levels Invoker gets, he just becomes very strong. But OG is very aware of that. They already want to go for the base push here.
Yeah, NaVi have the right idea of pushing bottom, but they're just not fast enough at it to threaten the bottom lane. So OG can just go high ground, and NaVi are going to be the ones forced back, it seems.
Yeah, NaVi's interest is to delay the game right now for sure.
They need 40 seconds. If they can wait 40 seconds, that Aegis Immortal is gone from NoTel.
Lycan's TP back, they're going to go for the fight now.
That bottom lane is still pushing him pretty heavily. Down about 30, 25 seconds now on that Aegis Immortal of NoTel's. They take the tower. NoTel still getting slept up. Denny's not going to get too close, but yeah, a little bit further down. There's going to be Didira in a little bit of trouble. No BKB. Chris going to finish the job. The Spirit came out way too late. So already the Lycan on the sideline. His Necrobook's going to be mopped up. You get the ulti out. It's the Corona Spear on NoTel. They have enough damage. They burn through the DK after the Aegis is gone. General, however, still being hunted down by Crit. The Finger of Death able to connect. The Geometry Size being gathered, so they get the vision over on Crit. With the Spirit of the Wolves there, Crit will be able to Phantom Strike himself up to the high ground. But NaVi at least repel OG and keep their racks alive on top.
Yeah, that was actually, I mean, I would have started to say that was a huge misplay by DTRR, just trying to flank.
Yeah.
Because it would have been better for NaVi to just let them run in. I think OG wouldn't have pushed anyway after losing the Aegis. I mean, they got one DK for losing 2 cores. That's still favorable for OG. The Invoker is getting stronger though. I think he is gonna become a real threat in the game soon.
Yeah, I think like Dichirwa had this idea in his head that he was going to try and threaten the squishier supports by, you know, popping his ult and throwing the Necronomicon at the Lion and at the Phoenix and force them to inefficient spell usage. But like the way he went about it, he just left himself completely open to the Rekin.
Yeah.
And in some ways, shouldn't it be like someone really mobile, like maybe the Invoker, who makes that kind of wrap if they're going to do it at all?
Actually, no one should do that wrap. It's a very risky play. I mean, like Crit has been like nagging DTRR the whole game, and I think at this point DTRR's decision making is a little bit clouded. If you play that kind of game, you just feel so pressured and confused. Doing a wraparound against a pushing team is you could even say it's a cocky move, just because it's kind of obvious they're gonna like ward this area and just secure it, because you don't want to get flanked when you're so prepared to make a push. So usually you don't want to go for it unless you're very quick about it. Like a team like MVP is extremely good at doing these moves just because of their speed and their decisiveness, unmatched by any other team in the world. But this random like them running in there is it's very ambitious.
We got ourselves smoke against smoke, and they both wrap around, but OG, they drew the line where they assumed where NaVi has run to. They won't go all the way down. Instead, they're looking for NoTel all the way on the bot lane. NoTel, for some reason, leaving his BTs on the other side of the tree line. Now he's going to TP himself away just as NaVi slipped past.
Yeah, the move of OG is a very casual one, and that is you just want to camp the hills and let them run into the uphill. But NaVi took a different path. NaVi is like smart about it. They know there's a huge risk just running uphill and running into them. They might just die.
They TP back to defend now. Denny's the man who has to hold the mid lane. But NoTel's making a break for the top lane. 5 seconds till the creep waves up, and the rest of NaVi aren't really back yet. They're coming up to the front lines, but NoTel's already managed to work through 2/3 of that melee racks. If they don't stop him soon, he's going to finish the job. Fortification's up, but they get the Chrono Spear off. NoTel caught inside the ultimates. They're going to again bring him down. So no Titanic moves on to help. Then ET Splitter snapping Moon back again. He's trying to force staff down with the future by throwing in the back. Also trying to create space, but the Gem and True Sight's been lost. Not to mention the 2 heroes of OG. NaVi keep the pursuit going. Phoenix going to Glimmer Cape and just go invis away, while Miracle being chased down by Didira. There's no ultimate. He's actually just trying to keep the Lycan Wolves as well as the Necros out. With no attack, he's able to blink, force staff, and TP away to safety. So he's out safely.
Time flies.
But the Courier did get sniped off of NaVi's at the same time.
Yeah, Crit is just very good about his moment. Killed the Courier in the meanwhile. I'm not sure if the push of OG is worth it to trade the Rex for their DK kill. But I am impressed by NaVi's decision making to actually just go on the DK, don't give him like any time, just burst him down. And we see
They're coming to fight. They're going after Dendi. Crit's going to jump in. The 4-star from Seneko. The Yules on Ricky allowing... Oh no, there's a secondary. Is Dendi actually sending Crit up towards the air with a tornado? 4-star will get Dendi out of range of the tricks of the trade. General moving forward with that dilation. Miracle in trouble, making a break for the tree line.
He's got a blink.
Well, he does, and he is away a little bit further down. Crit's also been chasing with Fly, but it's up in the tree line. The stomp's coming in, but Miracle, he's between the Spirit as well. He's got blink in 3 seconds, Force in 6. Seneko hasn't found him. Maybe they assume he's gone. He blinks further up. He's still got Finger of Death available. TP in 6 seconds.
Come on, Seneko. Scout it out. Scout it out.
Oh, he's so close! He should smell the Spirit, blinks, and then TP's out. NaVi won't find anything.
Okay, so I actually want to talk about that. It seems like you had a little bit of issue with the OG trying to go for that push, but at the same time, you did say the Invoker is getting scarier. There is this natural like timer on the game, right, where you're kind of worried about letting the Invoker go late game. What would be a better way to approach that kind of end game scenario? How do you force that on NaVi in a better way?
The best way for OG is to find any fight outside the base. To be fair, OG just is putting themselves on the clock just due to the draft. So since they have a core Ricky and a Darkseer, so they pressure themselves to be in this position from minute 40 onwards. Like this is the time NaVi needs to retaliate. So OG's move would actually be like try to choke them out of the base. I mean, off the map. Just keep NaVi in the base and get a gem, get the big hill wards, and just get all the pickoffs you can while farming up.
So really it comes down to limitations of the draft, the fact that they don't have a safe laner that scales a lot better, right?
I mean, DK has been like the real carry of this game. So, and if DK is your real carry, you usually have a problem in the game.
Yeah, OG is still sending toe-to-toe. They still hold about a 5-6-ish advantage in golden experience, even if it has dipped down. Thanks to that Observer Ward, they're feeling a little bit more comfortable around Roshan.
We're at that precipice, Toby, where it's like just about to swing NaVi's way. It's just one fight, and then like NaVi have the control. It all comes down to Roshan, right?
Let's see if they can take the fight. Right now, OG may try and dodge. They're moving up through the mid. Ricky, so close to General. The jump, the back, the double stun. They bring him down quick.
That was so good of OG. Once again, Crit just identified the situation for his team and Moon backed him up immediately.
And this is now Roshan for OG. They get rid of the sentry wards. The Obs is up, and with no Faceless Void, no Skywrath Mage, there is no way to stop Roshan. Denny's even still trying to defend the top. The melee Rax is already gone.
This is the place OG has been looking for. Get the fight outside the base and just get the Roshan. I know they're gonna have an easier time. At the same time, I do believe NaVi still has quite a lot of strength to push them back. The Aegis is very annoying though. Like they can't do the move on a DK anymore. It just picks up the Aegis. All the other guys, they will just sit far behind the Dragon Knight hitting the base towers.
One of the things that I have a hard time identifying as a caster is when I feel like a team should actually commit to the high ground push and when they should just try and suffocate out the map.
It's not only a caster thing, my friend. Actually, every team has its struggles.
Well, NoTel feels like now's the time to go high ground. He's still got the Aegis Immortal, but it's thrown away for free underneath the tower. The Sunray's going to be triggered. Moon backs only a creep wave. And 4-stars, just like OG, want to get the hell out of here. The Ice Wall's up. NoTel respawns in. The Ice Wall's making it difficult to get out. The 4-star will help to do so. But do you run to cover that BKB as well as Wolfbomb? He's chasing down Miracle. This is the way to kill OG. Bring down that support Lion. And even then, they can't do it. They couldn't even do it. He gets out. They're on the chase. NaVi, they do have Chronosphere available. But they need a target. They need to see something. The Observer Ward's up from OG, so they know exactly where NaVi are running. So they can regroup, get their thoughts back together again. Oh boy! That should have been dead, right? I think he was dead for right.
I mean, Yule Scepter plus Blink Dagger is a great combination, you know?
Need that self-damage when he hits the ground. Some kind of nerf.
Miracle is one of the players where you just know he has full control of his hero. Like up to 99% to 100%. He's excellent at spell casting and clicking his items. The push was very unfortunate though. Like Nolte had a little bit of a strong man syndrome when you think you're just too strong, but actually you die anyway. So it just gave away his Aegis for free. And they have to reset from here. And now he's actually on the move. They do want to use the chronosphere. They got away like 10 seconds for the BKB of Lycan to pop up. They're trying to time it nicely.
This is smart. They know like Dragon Form's on cooldown. They can catch OG by surprise if they're just going fast enough with their movement.
Yeah.
At the same time, you get a great item against Chronosphere. That Blink Dagger fresh on DK. They see General walk up and they bail out. In fact, Miracle, okay, he bails in, going right up towards General. Move the back of 4-man ball. There needs to be a follow-up, and it's going to be Arthur getting hit by every single illusion. The Blink away. Miracle gets the space configured as available. General gets the Chronosphere off. He's away. He's actually caught 3. Miracle on the enter with the splitter as well. Is this going to be the fight? No, it's not. Nortel turns on the damage. NaVi have lost 3. NaVi lose 4. Dirara is caught, and General blinked into the tree line and hides. The only safe place to be is in the trees.
Okay, you want to talk about control? He ran into the Chronosphere, which is, but still, the fact that Miracle had the confidence there, he could have blinked away so much sooner, right? He sees all these heroes, but he's kind of like baiting them in, and he sets Moon up for this beautiful vacuum wall, 4-man wall, and the whole entire fight just starts off with a little bit of bump to OG's favor, and they make it go their way even further with some of the plays out from NoTail and the Phoenix for sure.
They got 40 seconds until Lycan is back up and running. This bottom Rax is done for. And OG will look to rotate towards the mid. The Dragon Form won't last much longer. So the question is, how much respect does OG give? They didn't give a lot during game number 1. We'll see if game number 3 is going to be any different. Ricky's almost at a point where Crick can buy a Rapier if he wants to, a 5.5k.
OG is playing it very safe, backing off, even though they know the Chronos on cooldown. NaVi hasn't identified that the issues when they meet OG outside the base, they just keep on losing fights. It would have been more comfortable for them to sit in base and like push out the waves with the cores and let OG like try to base break them, because OG is more pressured than NaVi is, just because they're on a timer.
Right.
At the same time, the smoke could have worked, to be fair, but General didn't jump in the DK and chrono him. I feel like that should have been his move. The problem is when you smoke in and you find a target and you don't go in right away, the opponents just have a lot of time to evaluate the situation and just, you know, retaliate.
Yeah.
So they've given OG a lot of time to just calculate the situation for themselves and take the correct fight. We saw Moon responding extremely good with the vacuum wall and his Shivas. He actually has a refresher on Darkseer too.
And they've got the Ags from the Phoenix. So they've got a good saving mechanism for NoTail if they try and commit that sort of like heavy. The first couple of times where the push has gone out, they've defended by just like, you know, going for the Chronosphere and just blowing everything on NoTail, and they still have enough, thanks to the Invoker, to be able to still beat the rest of OG even after they've used most of their big cooldowns. But now they have the Ag saving grace that could actually make things real difficult for NaVi to pop a hero.
Yeah, the game has become very hard for NaVi from this point. Losing another set of Rex, just a lot of gold for Radiant. And, they'll be so pressured by the lanes, pushing in naturally with the super creeps.
Now, if they have all 3 lanes of Rex, it would seem like, okay, you definitely should sit inside your base, but now you're in one of those like edges where you lose one fight or even just the push. You can win the fight, but the push can still succeed and the game's pretty much over because maybe they have Megas at that point. Do you still abide by the advice of sitting in base and defending for NaVi, or is this a desperate enough scenario that maybe you have to go out and see if you can catch OG by surprise?
I think by now they have no choice but sitting in base. My point before was like to not like actually sit in base with all the heroes, but to not force any fights in uncomfortable positions, like the Radiant jungle. Unless like I said, you just jump them very quick, you make a very quick decisive move. But now NaVi just, you can see in their movement, they don't really know what to do. It's just very hard. The lanes just keep pushing in. And OG is just enjoying themselves, crossing the map from left to right and keeping the mid lane very controlled. There's a less important set of frags left for them. I think OG is so eager to like take the fight. There's no base towers left, so I think they might just go.
They find Arstyle with the back. They're right behind the Chronosphere, actually catching NoTail as well as Moon, Sunstrike, or running with the Zero Ball. It actually catches him, pushing him towards the air, the Lion. There's no blink away, so Miracle will go down. But now they're back in the fight with the Sunray turned on. General will drop. They'll pull back Snako. Moon triggers a refresh storm, sending him up towards the air. Snako defensive your scepter, but it's the mid-ranks. They're forcing to make it, then they get the GG. OG, they've just gone from strength to strength, and they will take this grand final 3-0 against NaVi in spectacular fashion.
Unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen a finals And is there anything that Miracle can't do?
Well, the answer is no.
Absolutely
Quite
not.
clearly no. OG, they're showing such a dynamic play, such a terrific team. This is the second time in a grand final that OG has slapped NaVi back down again. They come off the back of their major win only last week, and now they come here to ESL One Frankfurt, and they take the crown against NaVi.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I love the fact that last game, you put Miracle on the support. It really gives the rest of the team the opportunity to shine. There it is.
Here it is. Here are your champions for ESL One Frankfurt. It is OG.
You took the Manila Major, now you took ESL One Frankfurt. What makes you guys so good right now? Like, what is it? What is it about you guys that makes you guys at this level right now?
Sometimes, you know, you're kind of just on fire. So we're just going to use it as much as we can, and we're going to carry it through to TI.
Do you guys agree that OG is on fire right now? That's true. Carrying it through TI on that note, is there any team that intimidates you guys right now at this point? Any team at all, and which one?
There's no team that intimidates us, but Liquid always has our highest respect, and from China, probably NaVi. Those teams are really amazing to play against.
Liquid and NaVi. And of course, you have all of your fans here right now. I want you to give them something they can take home. Everyone here, of course, loves the game, loves Dota. What can you give them to, of course, focus on or improve on that they can basically help them as a team to get to your level, hopefully one day? What can they do? What is something they can take home with them?
You got to work hard, you know? That's what we do. We work hard, we dedicate everything, and that's how you progress. I truly believe in hard work.
Hard work, of course, and it's worth it. You guys are where you are right now. Give it up for OG, your champions.
Pick up their second championship inside 7 days. They are the ESL One Frankfurt 2016 champions. Gents, it was an impressive performance in many ways throughout the entire tournament, and especially, Jacob, in the grand final. Even a little bit of showboating in game 3.
A little bit. They changed roles.
I was trying to be polite.
I thought I had it figured out with the Lion mid, and he was mid. It was just not the
mid that you thought he was going to be.
Expected.
Yeah, yeah. What do you make of it, Pika? Really impressive. They're the best team on planet Earth right now.
Yeah, I think definitely. It feels like they definitely are. If you can win 3-0 in the grand finals, you can play a Ricky carry. And I mean, with the shaky start they had in that game and Miracle on support Lion, if they can win with that, then hands down, they're the best team.
And such an impressive result against NaVi again. In the last 4 series that they played them, Ben, it's 10-0.
Yep, Manila was certainly no mistake. Not that anyone had their doubts, but this kind of solidifies their team. Like, who can stop them?
Yeah, and this is similar as well to what we had in Frankfurt last year. They had Frankfurt, they won Frankfurt, and they went on 7 days later and won another title. It seems like there's a snowball effect for these guys. Every time a new patch comes out, they're the best at it, they adapt the best, and then they go on a win streak. Can they carry this on to TI is the next question, though.
I certainly hope so. They're such a fun team to watch as well, and they're all like great guys individually, so it's definitely one of the teams that everyone can rally behind and really wish all the best for. So I hope they can keep up the steam, but I also hope that a lot of other teams get to their level and put on great shows, of course.
Yeah, they're starting to become the team to aim for, which we talked about Liquid over the last couple of months being the team to aim for. Those two stand out amongst all of the teams right now. There's a lot of catching up to do for the rest of the teams, Pycat, right now.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, teams need to work hard if they want to be on that level. There have been these roster changes between some teams, and teams are trying to find stability. Right now, OG, Liquid, and NaVi, I think, like I said, those are the teams that they have respect for as well, and you can see those guys are ahead of everyone else, and OG feels like they're just even slightly, one step ahead of the other two as well.
And they stick through it through thick and thin.
Yeah.
And
they were one of the first teams, actually, that said, when the roster opened up, in the last roster open, they were the ones that said, don't touch us, leave us alone, we're quite happy, we want to stick with the 5 that we got, we don't want any changes.
And the lesson that Fly gave at the end is a very easy one to forget, hard work, but these guys just play Dota all the time. They're always seeking to improve. They've taken home multiple first places at majors, and still they strive to be the best. And you can tell that from the way they play, the way they draft, their attitude about the game. It is an attitude of champions.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember back at the major, NoTow actually was still in the practice room, practicing particular heroes because he felt like he wasn't playing very well. And so to have that kind of mentality when his team have gone off and they're enjoying themselves, for him to stay behind and practice and practice and practice, it's a sign of a champion.
It's also no coincidence that the teams that stick together this long, that are friends and have fun playing together, perform better than the ones that are just forming to try and win championships because they think they are all superstars.
It's a good message to put out there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a good role model team.
Let's have a word for NaVi as well. I would guess we'd call that a mildly embarrassing way of going out in Game 3. Wouldn't have wanted to go out like that. Played their hearts out, have reached a final at least, and have done themselves some good in terms of getting to TI.
Yeah, they solidified themselves as, again, just right below that Tier 1. And I'm not exactly sure what it's going to take for them to get back to top 4 at a very large tournament or a championship at a tournament like this, but I don't know. What do you guys think it's going to take?
Based on OG and Liquid and what they've done, their blueprint over the last 12 months, surely it's a matter of sticking together, isn't it? No matter what they do at TI, they get to TI, that should be their achievement. They've done that. Maybe they finish top 10, top 8, something like that, and then stick together and they come back a year later, they're going to be much stronger.
It runs a bit deeper than that as well. You know, Liquid and OG are two of the teams that have figured out how to really move around the map, how to perfectionize their timings and everything, and that's really what they do so well. They read the map, they know where the enemy is at all times, and they know how to do and when to do it.
Okay, let's talk about highlights now of the tournament, because we're wrapping up here. We've got a few more minutes to close down the show. Jacob, what stood out other than OG just being absolutely terrific? Is there any other highlights that you can remember from the last 2 days?
I mean, highlights for both questionable play and good play has definitely been both NaVi and OG, actually. I was a bit surprised this morning coming in how OG wasn't playing up to par, and then suddenly they just changed within the same game. In Game 2 against Liquid, they just go into automatic gear, and then they play the same way they did during the major, and they just took home that series very convincingly. And the same way with NaVi. They have this one game yesterday where they play very questionable, and then they also just take it to another level and start playing really, really well.
Okay, Pycat?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still happy that NaVi, they managed to get to the finals, and it is fun to see them do well with their own stuff.
Yeah.
But I think they need to improve on their execution if they want to get up there, just because that's kind of what OG are doing. They have this execution, they're so clutch.
Yeah. Ben, highlights for you?
For me, it's the fans. I think I really like that interaction between the NaVi fan and the OG fan, and then OG fan's like, oh, it's kind of sad, and NaVi's like, oh man, it really was heartfelt that NaVi fans have been waiting for them this long, and they've developed such a culture behind them, and you know, even though they don't win, there's still a lot of people cheering for them, and everyone just loves that team. They love Dota. This is what we're all here for.
Absolutely. That's a good way to end. Thank you very much. All of our panelists and everyone that's been on the panel over the last couple of days. Also to our commentary team who have been down in Cologne for day 1 and back here in the Commerzbank-Arena. To everyone involved at ESL, thank you for having us. It's been another fantastic year at the European version of TI. That's it for ESL 2016 here in Frankfurt. ESL One has come to a close, and it's come to a close where the men are dreaming green again. OG are your champions. Auf Wiedersehen.